I'm Jason UFC, and today we have a story about UFC welterweight champion Leon Edwards believes that the UFC wants Colby Covington to defeat him. This is what Leon Edwards says. Colby Covington has got Dana White privilege. Leon Rocky Edwards hasn't been seen in the cage since a title defense victory against Kamaru Usman in March of 2023. Earlier this year, there Leon Edwards scored his second straight victory over Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare Usman, this time by unanimous decision. Cage side that night was the recently returned Colby Chaos Covington. Chaos Covington took a hiatus following a victory over Jorge Masvidal early last year, 2022. I think it was March or April of 2022. However, after settling his legal issues with Masvidal, Colby Covington weighed in as the backup fighter for Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman 3 earlier this year. Following that fight, Dana White, who is the CEO of UFC, confirmed that Colby Covington would get the next title opportunity, the next UFC welterweight title opportunity versus Leon Edwards. The whole ordeal lands Leon Edwards to believe that the UFC wants Colby Covington to win this Saturday night at UFC 296. The welterweight champion spoke about his return on a recent edition of the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani. There he opined that a lot is weighing in the challenger's corner. In an interview, Leon Edwards pointed to the fact that Colby Covington got the title shot after nearly 2 years of inactivity. The champion Leon Edwards also noted that former President Donald Trump is being promoted for the card on Saturday as well. Donald Trump is being promoted for the card? Are you serious? With that, he believes that the UFC has to be hoping for Chaos Covington to win this Saturday. However, Leon Edwards, the UFC welterweight champion, is still unfazed heading into the matchup. Furthermore, Rocky Edwards stated that he feels like the underdog heading into this Saturday UFC 296, a position that's not new to him. This is what Leon Edwards says. I couldn't tell you. Leon Edwards answered Ariel Helwani's question about why Covington was fighting him at UFC 296 this Saturday night. I spoke to the UFC, I spoke to everyone, and I don't know. They brought Covington in March to weigh in, which was random. I don't know why. Colby Covington has got Dana White privilege, and that's it. He fought Masvidal. Everyone he's beat in the last 5 years is retired, right? They've all been feeding him, these guys, on the back end of their careers. He continued for some reason. Colby Covington got this mad mentality that he deserves more than he's earned. For some reason, the UFC is going with it. And here we are. I'm prepared, I'm ready, and I'm going to show him, Covington, that there's levels. Probably they want him to win. Trump wants Covington to win. I don't know. None of it matters. My entire career has been like the underdog going against the favorite. I think this is no different. My mentality, my background, it's perfect to where my career is going. It works out perfect for me. So it is what it is. Okay, this is a kind of interesting interview here. I'm an MMA casual, so I don't follow everything in the sport. But I did, which I almost never do. I just, because I couldn't remember who Leon Edwards fought before he fought Kamaru Usman for the title. I just want to throw it out there that Leon Edwards defeated Nate Diaz. Much respect to Nate Diaz, but that was like a year before he fought Kamaru Usman, right? So it wasn't like Leon Edwards was like the most active person, even though he's on a very long win streak, but he did take a little bit of time off before he fought Kamaru Usman for the title. I think he fought Nate Diaz in 2021, and then he took basically a year off, and then he fought Kamaru Usman. And whatever happened with Colby Chaos Covington last year after he defeated Jorge Masvidal, that was his last victory. I don't know why he didn't fight since then. But, I wouldn't say it's the exact same thing. Obviously, Covington took a little bit more time off. But they were trying to make this fight. Covington was trying to make this fight in June. Remember, I do remember that. Like there was a UFC event that was planned for England, right? And Covington wanted to make the fight then, and for some reason the fight didn't happen then. So as far as taking the time off and why Colby Covington is getting this title shot compared to Leon Edwards getting, I feel, I wouldn't say it's 100% equal, but it's pretty close, right? Masvidal, a former lightweight, Nate Diaz, a former lightweight. Masvidal was ranked behind Colby Covington in the rankings. Nate Diaz was ranked behind Leon Edwards in the rankings. So it wasn't like both of them. And both of them were 5 rounds unanimous decision victories. It wasn't like Covington winning there, finished Jorge Masvidal, Leon Edwards winning there, finished Nate Diaz, called out Kamaru Usman and fought him, in 3 months. It took him a year to fight Kamaru Usman, and I'm pretty sure he was waiting around for that title fight. He wasn't like, hey, I beat Nate Diaz. Let me go and fight someone in the top 5 to, quote unquote, earn my title shot. He waited a year for his title shot. Colby Covington was going through some legal stuff. We don't have to go into that. So he kind of waited a year. Like I said, I'm an MMA casual, so what the hell do I know? Either way, it really doesn't matter if Trump is rooting for Colby Chaos Covington. I personally don't. I always find it weird that all the Trump fighters, none of them really like each other. Sean Strickland, Gaethje, Covington, like none of them really get along with Dana White neither, right? So it's like they're all these Masvidal, they all kind of love Trump in their own ways, and they all have their own relationship with Trump. But Dana White and Sean Strickland, they're not best friends. Gaethje and Dana White aren't best friends. Covington ran up on Dana White. He was filming him in a casino, so they're not like best friends. So it's not like the whole Trump group is like, they're planning against everybody. They really aren't the best friends in the world, But I will say this, Trump is a fan of MMA. I think he's there for a good fight. I don't think he's going to go in and if Leon Edwards has a great performance, finishes Colby Covington, that Trump is going to be mad. I'm pretty sure Trump has seen Colby Covington lose before. So I don't think, Trump has been to many events. He's just a fan of the MMA and a fan of the UFC. Is he rooting for Covington? Yeah, but I think he's just going to enjoy the event. I personally don't think the UFC is rooting for Colby Covington to win this belt, right? But it should be a good night. But let me know, who do you think is going to win, right? At the end of the day, doesn't matter who's rooting for who, right? Who cares if Dana White and Trump and the UFC are all rooting for Covington? That won't help him defeat Leon Edwards, not even 1%. It won't, right? It won't at all. But let me know, who are you rooting for? I have to admit, I'm rooting for Colby Chaos. Why not? It's been a fun year for the UFC. This is his 3rd opportunity for the belt, right? Why not have a year where Colby Chaos Covington wins the belt at the end of the year and just throws everything into complete madness? Like that would be fun. But let me know, who you're rooting for between Colby Covington and Leon Edwards. Remember, I'm an MMA casual, so what the hell do I know? I'm Jason, UFC. Today we had a story about UFC welterweight champion Leon Edwards believes, and also, I just want to mention, for the people who probably don't know this reference, that Leon Edwards believes that Colby Chaos Covington has Dana White privilege. Dana White privilege is it's kind of an insider thing, but if you don't know what the meaning behind that is that Tony Ferguson was at a press conference with Dana White and Michael Chandler, and he was saying that no one wanted to fight him. And the only reason Michael Chandler was there, but he wasn't fighting Michael Chandler in that instance, but the reason why Michael Chandler was there and getting all these opportunities at the top of the card is because Michael Chandler had Dana White privilege. And even Dana White laughed, which was very, 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 it's a great moment. If you ever want to go YouTube that moment, Dana White privilege, Tony Ferguson, it's a very funny moment because Dana White even laughs. He even laughed at Tony Ferguson saying that Michael Chandler, the only reason he's there is because he has Dana White privilege, and Dana White laughs, and Michael Chandler looks at him and says, "Thanks, boss," or something like that. But That's beside the point. I'm Jason, UFC. Today we had a story about UFC welterweight champion Leon Edwards believes that the UFC wants Colby Covington to defeat him at UFC 296, saying that Colby Covington has got Dana White privilege. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button, and please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.